One of the things that I've noticed on my own journey, and tell me if this is true for you on your journey as a creator, that after the days, or maybe weeks, it's usually not weeks, it's usually days, after the days that I feel maybe kind of confused about where I want to go, the path I want to take, the things I want to create, right? Maybe not so much clarity on what I want to create in the world. After those days, and it's usually only one day, maybe two at the max these days, the next day I get a super download or a super bit of clarity about what I want to create. Does that resonate with you, right? I think that back and forth ebb and flow is natural for human beings / creators, right? We're doing things in the world. We're sometimes groping around in the dark, trying to find ourselves and our purpose and the things that are fun and enjoyable for us to create, whatever they may be. And when we do find that, we're satisfied for a little bit. And then because we're dynamic, ever evolving creatures, and we have multiple facets to ourselves, right? We get a little bit bored and we want to create something new or go in a new direction. If you just created the same thing over and over again, there would be some degree of growth there, I think, but not something that would be satisfying for a lifetime. And so my friend Ruth Romero, who has been a guest on the podcast before, I thoroughly adore her, just sent me this just a few minutes ago. And it's a quote from General David M. Shoup, former Marine Commandant from 1960 to 1964, and I'm going to read it to you here in a moment. But this is the kind of stuff that we need to hear, because all of us are fighting the creative battle, the battle of resistance, like Stephen Pressfield talks about, right? We may not be Marines, we may not be soldiers, but we're still fighting a war within ourselves, the war against resistance, the war against the enemy that says, you're not good enough, you're not ready, no one wants to see this stuff, you're wasting your time. You know, all of those canned answers that your inner resistance gives you all the time. That's why this stuff is so valuable. And I often draw a lot of inspiration and energy or strength from looking at men and women in the armed forces. Granted, they're in a total different arena, right? But fighting a battle is fighting a battle, right? Whether you're fighting an enemy that you can see or an enemy that is inside of your mind, principles are the same, right? Again, totally different arena, totally different set of circumstances by all means, but similar principles are in play. And so what she sent me here was this quote, and I'm going to read it to you right now. And again, this is from General David M. Shoup. Quote, "The galleries are full of critics. They play no ball, they fight no fights, they make no mistakes because they attempt nothing. Down in the arena are the doers. They make mistakes because they try many things. The man who makes no mistakes lacks boldness and the spirit of adventure. He is the one who never tries anything. He is the brake on the wheel of progress. I made a mistake. And yet it cannot be truly said he makes no mistakes, because his biggest mistake is the very fact that he tries nothing, does nothing, except criticize those who do things." I saved it. I'm going to look at it when I start feeling a little off my game, a little lethargic, a little in a slump. Happens very frequently. I don't get bent out of shape about it as much as I used to, because I know on the other side of that is going to be smooth seas, smooth sailing for a while, right? And that's the thing about life that I've noticed. And please let me know in the comment section down below if you notice that as a creator too. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're making or doing in the world to contribute to the world or just express yourself, whatever you're doing, let me know if you have those days as well. The ebb and flow, right? The times when you maybe huddled up in the corner thinking that your life is a total waste, and then the other days you feel like you're on top of the world, right? I think that's the spectrum that creators live in, right? There's these wild swings. It's not uncommon for creative people to experience bouts of deep, dark depression. And it's also not uncommon on the other side of that to have manic spells, right? Where they're on top of the world. That's a sign. If you experience those large sways, right? Depressed to super manic, you may be a super creator, right? Everyone is a creator just because they're a human being, but some people have, I guess, are more in touch with it and are more in tune with it and have an unwavering drive to share it with the world. Again, whatever that may be. Those are the people, a lot of times they have those big mood swings, right? And that can be a little bit dangerous if it's not kind of controlled and regulated to some degree by whatever means necessary, but it still affords itself, it still is part of that person, and it makes them who they are and may even fuel the creativity. I don't know, right? Just a thought, just something that I've observed studying ultra creative people. A lot of them do talk about times when they experience deep depression, right? And then on the other hand, sometimes life is just wine and roses all day long, right? So just think about that. But the reason I wanted to share this with you is because everyone has off days. Everyone has days when you're questioning what you're even doing here, is if it matters, if it's important, if it's benefiting anyone, if you enjoy it, where you're going, right? I'll probably be talking more about this in the future. I've talked about this in the past too. This is the channel for conscious creators, and it's the channel to help you create whatever you want to create, right? Sharing inner practices, right? Manifestation techniques, ideas and insights about the human experience, just to help you be a more conscious creator and not just go along to get along, or not create something just because your neighbor's creating it or your best friend's creating it. But what do you want to create, right? What wants to come through you? Because here's the thing, and this is what I've learned on my own journey, studying creators and also looking at my own path. When you create something that is totally uniquely you, that you're super scared to let out into the world, that you fear other people may judge you or criticize you, like he said, that's when you know you're probably on the right path and you're probably really close to expressing your true nature and creating something that is going to really be a game changer in the world. That's going to touch a lot of people, maybe change hearts and minds, maybe make a big impact in the world. You never know. But the more fearful you are, the more afraid you are to share it, that's, in my experience, when you're on to something. I hope this message finds you well. Again, leave me a comment down below letting me know if you experience these mood swings, or these swings in, kind of like, oh, it's not working one day and the next day this is super awesome, right? And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That would be really great. I'd appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you want more content like this. I look forward to having you join the journey. And until next time, I wish you all the best health, wealth, and success. Thanks so much. Have an awesome, creative day.